Hey y'all, I'm Yasmin and I'm back with another video. Welcome back to Mental Health Convos. If you're interested in learning about mental health, human services, some some of everything here basically. We talk about money, we talk about life, we talk about some of everything here on this channel. So if that is something that you're interested in, please go ahead and hit subscribe. This video, I want to remind you all that it is Minority Mental Health Month, but let's talk about Big Teak, okay? So I recently started watching this show called P Valley, right? So I realized that I really don't have any habits, and I think I asked on here, can y'all recommend some shows? So did my due diligence, start watching some of these shows. And the human services worker in me, when I was watching this show, was like, OMG, I got to really start talking about this so I can reach my target audience. All right, y'all. So I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to spoil the show. I'll just give it like a little brief overview. The show is really good, I will say. But so I'll just give little tidbits about what's going on in the show. So Big T here is pictured with Lil Murder, and they're like from the same area, like from the same gang, I'm gonna say. So pretty much they've known each other for a long time. They're ride or die, right? Again, I don't want to get too much into the show because if you're interested, please go watch it because I don't want to give it away. But anyway, so you see that they are close. They have a good bond right here. You will also see that Big Teak is being released from prison for something that he did. Again, I'm not going to say. Watch the show. Okay, so Lil Murder hires Big Teak to be his security. So that's where he is pictured right here. Lil Murder is a rapper and he's going on tour. So he needs some security, okay? Lil Murder was also incarcerated with Big Teak at some point, and Lil Murder was sending letters to Big Teak. He was in solitary confinement at times, so he was saying, those letters, they really kept me out of a dark place. So right here, they're just kind of reminiscing, talking about their time in prison together. Lil Murder got out. When Big Teak got out, Lil Murder was there to hold him down, give him a job. Hey man, let's hit this show. Let's get this show on the road, okay? Right here, Big T is watching TV, and everybody thinks he's just so explosive. But once you watch the show, you will see that Big T has gone through a whole lot. And again, he's been in prison for several years. So on top of that, he's seeing this police brutality on the news, and all of it's kind of triggering him. So fast forward, the show continues and they go on tour and things like that. So we get to a point in the show where Big Teak is, just wrapping things up with Lil Murder. Again, I don't want to tell too much of the show, but pretty much they start talking about their future, what's next, that type of thing. And Big Teak, so prior to them coming to this little spot right here where they're just talking about, life and talking back on their good old days, Big T goes back to his childhood home. And there you can see that Big T gets gone through a lot. He was abused as a child. His mother was abusive. And even, I think she killed his siblings. So he was about, I think the show showed him as being about under 10, so maybe about 7. And you can hear the flashbacks that he had. And in the flashback, you can see where he got hurt because his mother stabbed him with some type of metal, looks like in the neck area. And she also did something to his siblings, but he ran away. He escaped. There's actually a whole lot that goes on with Big T, but I want to keep the video short and I want to just go over some of the things that really stood out to me. So, one, he was abused as a child. So that played a part in his mental health. The abuse, the neglect, all of the things that occurred to him during his childhood. Okay. Apparently his mother had some type of mental health issues as well. If you just listen closely to when he has that flashback, so there's some trauma, probably some PTSD going on. One, he's easily triggered. You see that every time you look around, he's ready to fight somebody. Everything is just pissing him off. He's explosive. That's another thing. And then a lot of people, I saw that when they were watching the show, everybody's quick to judge him like, I'm so sick of him, I'm so sick of him. But they didn't know what was really going on with him. And he probably, I know this is a show, but in reality, this really happens to people. People really experience this. He probably never had therapy either. So I'm watching this show and I'm like, oh my goodness, all of this has happened to this man. And then there's something else that's going on with him. But again, I'm not going to say, because I don't want to spoil the show. If you have not watched it, I don't want to give away too much. But yeah, so that's also something that, a lot of people may have issues with in those group of people that I've worked with. I ain't gonna get into it. But when you watch the show, you can come back here and then you'll understand, the type of relationship that he has with Lamerta. And a lot of people say, once he was released, he should have been in some type of halfway house type of program, in which I agree. He had a very hard time getting back into society. Think about it. He's been locked away for a long time. I know in one scene, Lil Murda tells him to put gas in with with some type of credit card, debit card, or whatever. He's like, how I work this? And like the world is changing. So at some point he has to get caught up, and it's becoming overwhelming for him. Now he got to get back into society, get a job. Something went left with their whole show. So I'm not gonna get too much into it. So they're trying to pick up the pieces and trying to go from there and figure out what's next for them. Getting back into society, he went back to his old house, which Lamerta was like, you going in the trap without your strap? He's like, I used to live there. That was my old house. So just getting back into society, getting back on your feet, getting back out there can be a struggle for some people that have been in prison or jail. So at the end of the video, and you got to be mindful, how you are free in society is not how you will be in prison. You got to have a totally different mindset in prison. You can't go, hey, how you doing in prison? You got to be ready to mess somebody up. I will definitely provide some resources. If that happens to be you need some help trying to figure things out since you've been released. So also, ultimately, I'm just gonna say it because it's gonna be evident here. Big Teak unalives himself, and one of the things that really stood out to me about this is if you go back and watch the episode, he in so many words pretty much gives you he pretty much foreshadows, he pretty much says things that will let you know that he's going to unalive himself. Like, hey, this gonna be the last day for me. I got I think he said, I got somewhere to be. Don't mess up my haircut. It's a big day for me. And, just he says different things. So, and if you pay attention, he's trying to get rid of Lil Murda. He's like, I can drop you off. I can drop you off. So he's trying to get that time to be alone because he pretty much has his mindset that he's going to, he's going to unalive himself. And please be mindful. I'm saying unalive because y'all know how YouTube and other social media accounts can be when we say certain words. So I don't, that's why I'm saying unalive. Roll with it, y'all. Anyway, so he's really trying to just get a moment to himself so he can unalive himself. And, when he's there, Lil Murda is with him. And, he's like, no, man. He's trying to give him hope. Say, hey, what about these babies? What about the next steps we got going on? We got about to get to this money. And, he's just, Big T is overwhelmed with it all. And he's like, I'm done with this. Like, I can't. So I just wanted to take a moment to explore that because, we as a society are having suicidal thoughts more than ever. I can't say that for everybody, but y'all be mindful that I did work on a suicide hotline before, and I've taught people out of killing themselves. I've talked people out off from bridges. I've talked people from hanging themselves. So, this can be a little emotional for me just talking about it. And I have lost someone, a relative very close to me, a cousin, to suicide. So, I just want to put the information out there that you are not alone. You are not alone. And there's hope, okay? There is hope. This 1-800 number that I have listed here is 24/7. There are live counselors available to help you. Okay, we genuinely care. I know I genuinely care for the people that I work with, as well as I do have some more resources if you are, just getting back into society. The number is 1-800-273-TALK 8255, 1-800-273-8255, or starting around the 16th of July, in some places you can dial 988. Okay? Please use the resources, y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for tuning into this channel. I got the resources that I list below down in the description box. Also, if you're interested in getting therapy, I'll list some therapy resources down below. I'm partnered with a few places that can give you a discount. So be looking forward to the description box, okay? Thank you all so much for tuning in. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment down below what you think about the show or Big Teak's death, or any words of encouragement for those that are having those thoughts.